Kickboxer and infamous content creator Andrew Tate has turned his controversial image into millions of dollars. Legends and controversies swirl around this man more than championship titles. Well, legends, controversies, and money, that is. He has an impressive fortune of $350 million, a rich lifestyle that he's basically turned into a brand. Like any influencer and online personality, it can be hard to tell where the legend ends and the truth begins. Mostly because he likes to make those legends up on the fly. Supposedly, he has a $7 million mansion in Bucharest. Then there's his claim that he's actually a trillionaire. He's also claimed that he is the most dangerous man in the entire world. Some think that he and his brother are actually part of the Romanian mafia and that they may have gotten their start as hitmen. Love Tate or hate him, you can't claim that the man or his fans lack imagination. So, Tate doesn't exactly have the usual relationship with private jets that most celebs like him do. While many decide to own their own jet, Tate has like a private jet guy who hooks him up at a moment's notice. He compared his private jet lifestyle to like how most people use Uber. Evidently, he calls a number to someone who did business like a shady assassin in a movie. He'd simply say that he needed to go from one place to another, and the mysterious voice would tell him where to meet the jet in around 20 minutes. Not only is the plane there at his beck and call, like it's some sort of taxi, the mysterious guy on the phone outfits the plane with his name, donuts, champagne, and pizza, all of Tate's favorites. Though his favorite part is just skipping the airport experience altogether. If he wants to depart at 8 p.m., he simply gets there at 7:59. Now, for obvious reasons, there's no information on how expensive the shady, definitely not stolen private airplane business is, but we can guess it's not cheap. Though I gotta say, from the way he described getting his jet, I'd say that Tate has actually never used Uber himself. That's what personal assistants are for, after all. If you're selling people on a rich and glamorous lifestyle, that means you have to have a massive car collection worth millions of dollars. No worries, because Tate has a garage that's more impressive than any fight he's ever had. And that's saying something. His unbelievable collection includes most of the biggest name brands out there. He rides in the likes of a Rolls-Royce Wraith worth $380,000, an Aston Martin DBS worth $316,000, a BMW M5 Competition worth $103,000, a Mercedes B63 worth $250,000, a Porsche GT Street worth $316,000, a Lambo Spider worth $230,000, a McLaren 765 LT worth $382,000, and a Mercedes Maybach worth $150,000. He's also a Ferrari man. His collection includes the likes of a Ferrari 458 Italia worth $248,000 and a Ferrari 812 Superfast worth $365,000. His most impressive ride dwarfs all the rest, though. He's got a Bugatti Chiron that's worth $3 million just by itself. There are only 500 of these in the entire world. They're owned only by the biggest and boldest celebs out there, like Post Malone and Cristiano Ronaldo. That is not a bad group to be a part of. Kickboxers aren't exactly known for raking in quite the fortune that Tate has, so how exactly has he earned that sizable fortune? Just as a kickboxer alone, he'd pull an annual salary of $40 million. During his time in combat sports, he became world champion in 2 different weight divisions. He was also on Big Brother, but was thrown out by episode 7 for some of his public opinions. This will become a trend. Aside from kicking people in the face, Tate actually has his own university. His service is called Hustlers University, and it aims to teach people how to make upwards of $10,000 a week through clever business tactics, cryptocurrency investments, and more. For that, you'll have to pay around $50 a month. there have been a ton of rumors and reports of less than ethical business practices he doesn't exactly teach at his university. He and his brother ran a webcam company where attractive women would pretend to be in relationships with men willing to shell out $4 a minute. He admitted that the whole thing was a giant scam and that men have spent tens of thousands of dollars on the service, sometimes donating their online girlfriends their entire inheritances and more. Not that he really feels bad about it, he brazenly said it's their problem, not mine. I can talk about his career, his reality star status, or his infamous TikTok videos all day, but none of that would exist if not for the thing he makes money off of the most. That would be his well-toned physique. Naturally, people are quite curious just how you get that kickboxer bod, outside of hiring one of those personal trainers actors use to get ready for Marvel movies. His diet is not exactly the same as most people's in his kind of shape. He's not the sort of person who eats the skinless chicken breasts many other celebs like him do. He's even said that he eats pretty much whatever he wants, with one major exception. Tate has cut sugar out of his life entirely, so while he skips out on cookies and cake, he eats all of the KFC most people like him deprive themselves of. He's also cut himself down to one meal a day and said he tried the carnivore diet, which was all meat all the time. He said he has a deep disrespect for breakfast or any meal people haven't hunted for themselves, which makes me really scared for the workers of those KFCs he goes to. Tate also doesn't care for gyms at all. He has devised his own private workout with equipment he said cost him like $50. He does this exercise 25 minutes a day, every day, and then pretty much does whatever he wants. I know Chris Hemsworth would just cry if he heard that. Basically, he does tuck jumps and burpees at high intervals for less than the amount of time it takes most of us to watch an episode of The Office, and then celebrates with a bucket of chicken. You could criticize it, but the man built his entire life off of that training routine, and taken down a lot of athletes who have much harder ones. He's also tried to get in the ring with one of the other most infamous internet personalities / pro fighters out there. Logan Paul has repeatedly ducked ludicrous offers from Tate to step into the ring. He's even gone so far as to offer a $5 million Bugatti supercar just for the pleasure of kicking him in the face. Chances are that Tate's fortune may be as high as it's ever gonna reach. Despite his claims that he's secretly a trillionaire, his social media legs have been cut out from under him.